Okay, Panther fans, here we go. The cup is already ours. That's it. We finished this regular season undefeated. Anton Lundell's won the Calder, just barely beating out Spencer Knight.
It's a tie.
And it's a tie. and my buddy Stu is here to keep me to make sure I keep it real. Buddy, how you doing? What do we can we find anything to complain about? Let's start there. Can we find anything at all to complain about? We can make something up.
I don't know. Watching the beginning of the game, I takes us a little bit to get out of first gear, second gear. I mean, I thought Tampa, and I was texting you that, that Tampa was taking it to us for, I think, the first 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, we woke up and started playing better. And, after we got, that first goal, which is always the
I
key
think
goal to a game.
That actually happened against the Islanders too, with the first half of the first period. We didn't look so good, but the difference this year for both goaltenders, I mean, obviously Knight didn't do that much last year, play that much, but the difference now is we're getting those early game saves.
You stake our goalies to, let's just say a 2-goal lead, and you're going to be in there till the end. Obviously, I'll take 4 and 5 every night.
Right.
That's not going to happen, but
we keep saying that.
We got 14 goals in 3 games. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, especially when you consider who we've played. You know what I mean? We're not exactly playing schlubs. So I guess the first thing we'll talk about, we wanted to talk about the power play a little bit and how different it looked as soon as we moved Reinhart off and Hornquist on.
Yeah, well, that experiment, I think, at least temporarily, is over. I mean, Hornquist, for all intents and purposes, is our power play specialist, like Hoffman was.
Right.
And we had one of, if not the top power play going with him on that unit before Ekblad went down. So I'm glad Q put him back, as and I just think that the power play will be back. It looked a lot better.
Yep.
The guys moving the puck quickly, which in my opinion is the secret to the power play is getting it in the zone and setting it up and moving it around. That's one thing that Tampa does really well. And that's the way to negate the 6 penalties that we had last night.
I think it was 6. I think Connaughton's was 6. Yeah.
It just, you got to be aggressive and not let them get set up. And of course, they didn't have Kucherov. I'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
But you can't leave Stamkos alone for his one-timers.
Right.
Now I posted a comment. They posted a video, a post-game question or whatever to Stamkos.
Right.
And he's going on and on, wah, about not having Kucherov.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, hey, the Panthers outplayed us.
Right.
Instead of giving us, being classy, being a good sportsman, and said, hey, the goalie was great.
Right.
They scored how many goals they scored. He blames everything on Kucherov not being in the lineup. I mean, to me, the turning point was the 5-on-3.
Yep.
And, we don't have a Chari, and, we're killing them off. Obviously, Lundell has stepped in and filled those shoes and then some. I mean, what can you say about Lundell? And I mean, he's the talk of the town. I mean, as much as Knight played fantastic as well, we kind of come to expect that, based on, his he's got undefeated in his first 5 games in his career.
Right.
I think the record's 8. But there are a number of players with 6. He's right behind them. So
right behind him. Yeah.
So but Lundell, what can you say?
We talked about it, when after the first game when we talked to Billy, and I brought up the people were concerned about the face-off percentage, and then I looked at Barkov's stats. I'm like, he wasn't even over 50% until year 5. Lundell, the last 2 nights, has been at least 50%. So, and Q's got him out there taking big draws, and Lundell's winning them. So
listen, just like Ekblad, if you go back, I don't know whether it were tweets. Maybe I tweeted it, or I know I texted it to you. I said, looking at the draft and the possible players, the one guy that stood out to me was Lundell.
Right.
And, one of the big reasons was, I like the Finnish players, in that Barkov style.
Right.
And I, we talked about it on the day of the draft that he fell in our laps. And so I'm sure Zito and his crew were giddy that we were able to get him.
Yeah, I don't know how he fell.
I think he's the steal of the draft.
Yeah, I don't know how he fell that far. And the thing of it is, and I mean, he almost had that shorty. Well, it wasn't a shorty. It was
breakaway.
Right when the power play ended, and he had
the breakaway.
But then he still gets his.
What did I tell you?
Yeah, you said he's going to get one. He's going to get one.
No, what did I tell you as far as what he should have done on the breakaway?
Yeah. No, I mentioned that in the recap.
Vasilevsky 5-hole.
Yeah,
he's too quick.
Yeah, I
just got to blow it by his ear.
Yep. And that's the
over
truth.
The block or over the glove. That's how you beat Vasilevsky.
Yep. And that's true for a lot of the good goalies.
But,
and then now Reinhart, what a difference just bringing him down. Looked like a completely different player. He looked really, really comfortable. Looks like he has some chemistry there with those guys. And then, also need to talk about, moving Vetrano down and how, we talked all summer about how we wouldn't be surprised if he was traded before the season, but certainly, doesn't look good for even wanting to sign him again, when he goes to get paid this upcoming offseason.
Well, we know Marchman is, one of Q's favorites.
Yeah.
At least you said that. I don't know.
If he could put Marchman on every line, he would.
I know. I just don't, I don't know why people don't like that kid. I mean, his game is solid and he's where he should be now. I like that Lundell, Marchman, Reinhart line.
Right.
I really do. And unfortunately, Vetrano, I was really ticked off. That was it the first game he got the 2 penalties, stupid penalties.
Yeah, it was the first game. Yeah.
For all I care, I mean, for those Vetrano fans, I'm really sorry, but he's not a good, consistent two-way player.
No, he brings that streaky scoring, but when he's not scoring, he's not making up for it in other ways many times.
Exactly. I like Marchman's size. I like him in the corner, and like you said, they've only put Reinhart on that line. Well, they actually just put that line together. So, give it a few weeks and a few games to get that chemistry going. Lundell is, he's now gotten his first goal. So it's, there's no pressure anymore.
Right.
And he can just go out. I mean, he looks like he's having they're all having fun. I mean, it's fun when you win.
Yeah.
But, again, I don't know, I don't know if they'll go, whatever I said, 20 wins in the first 25, 18 wins.
I think you were asking for something like 20.
Oh, I was smoking
3 and 2 or something.
Yeah, I must have been smoking something other than a cigar.
You were basically asking for like 55 out of the first 60 points or something like it was. But so let's talk about the defense a little bit now, because the pairs that we had last night, if they change those pairs, somebody needs to go down there and bubble wrap Q and stop letting them mess with things, because that's the 6. To me, that's
right. And those people calling for us to trade to get a good defenseman. Yeah. We have a good.
No, you could say that. That's me. Me.
And forget about that. We don't need to touch this team.
Well, no.
Connaughton was a guy that I really liked last year. I don't think he got enough playing time. He's not a kid from the minors. He's been around for a little bit.
Right.
I thought he played really solid. Obviously, I don't even have to say anything anymore about Forsling.
Right.
He just does his thing.
You were exactly right. It's not a match with Forsling and Montour. That's not the pair. And that's what people think I don't like Montour. It's not specifically that. It's just I've been saying he needs to be with a solid stay-at-home defenseman, so that when because Montour has a habit of kind of pinching maybe when he shouldn't and getting a little bit too much to the offensive zone. And he did, when that happens, you need number 44 back there. So somebody wearing number 44 has to be back there. So yeah, if they're going to play like that, you're absolutely correct. We don't need to make any moves.
We don't need right now. We don't need to touch this team.
Right.
Let this 3 games in, we're still working out the kinks and the chemistry with playing whoever. But for the most part, we know who's playing with who. So the defense, what I'd like to see more from the defense is some more goals.
Right. Well,
Montour, great. Montour scored, but I want, again, the power play is important.
Yeah, the power
That's
play.
where Ekblad could get a lot of his goals.
Yeah.
Being in the Stamkos OV highway, I call it, that left circle.
If he plays, and Q said Connaughton would have made the opening night roster if he wasn't hurt. He's shooting. He's not surprised me if he ends up with 5-10 goals by the end of the season, because he's shooting. He's getting himself into Connaughton. He's moving himself in a good position and taking shots, and he's got a halfway decent shot. So it wouldn't surprise me for at least to get 5. 10 might be pushing it, but
big thing from the D-men is getting the puck on net,
right?
Either for a rebound or a tip in, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
they don't all have to do those egg blasts,
right?
And, blow it by the goalie. I mean, I'm waiting for Uyghur to get his first one. I don't think he's got a goal yet.
No, I don't.
But
no, I don't think so.
Let the defense do what they get paid to do, and that's keep goals out of our net.
Exactly.
But,
with the forward group we have, we don't need that. They don't have to pinch. If they can, go ahead and do it. But otherwise, with the forward group we got, and that leads me to the fourth line, which, like I said in last night's recap, the fourth line now just becomes the island of misfit toys. It's just like if you do anything wrong, you're good. If you're bad for a shift, you're down. You go. And I just want that fourth line to be consistently good enough to where it takes the minutes from the other top 3 lines. I don't think there should be a night where Lomberg is not on the ice. That's just my personal opinion. I think he should be, is in an instant like last night. Joe didn't have a bad game. He actually cleared the puck out of the crease a couple of times, so I can't really complain that way. But it just seems like the fourth line is going to be a permanent revolving door. And as long as they can take the minutes off of the top 3 lines, I guess that's as good as we can hope for right now.
I don't have Vetrano's ice time, but you didn't see too much of him in the third period.
Right.
Or his name being called. And, what can I say? I mean, that's the burden of having too many great players.
Yeah.
Take out the violin. So sorry, Frankie, that you lost your job. But, obviously these players are playing better and maybe working harder in practice. I said something to you yesterday, or texted you last night, something about taking your job for granted.
Right.
Which Trocheck did. He thought his shit didn't stink, and he was the star of the team, and look where that got him. So we'll see.
We'll see.
We got a big battle tomorrow. I'm hoping I'm supposed to have some tickets for the game tomorrow. It'll be my first home game.
Oh man, that would be outstanding.
Missing my first home opener in, I don't know, 12, 13 years. I can't even remember the last time I met her. But I'm anxious to see what they do against Colorado.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we've been playing the schlubs, like I said. All right. Well, anything else we missed from last night's game? I'm trying to make sure we didn't. I mean, I guess we should mention Spencer Knight. We should mention Spencer when he came out to meet Stamkos, and that was just a beautiful thing. To me, that was just, and look, I said it in the recap last night. I'm not even here to start a controversy, because when Knight plays like that, apparently now Bob is lit, and it's just turning the heat up under Bob, and now Bob is playing better. So I mean,
this is going to be a real fun thing to watch through the season.
Yeah.
Q said something about keeping on their schedule.
Right.
And I said to you, I thought Knight was going to start against Tampa.
Yeah.
And then I kind of, deviated from that because Bob played, but
Right.
they obviously have a game plan.
Well,
So
if it's 2-1, I mean, that's going to be, I figure that's like a 50-30 split pretty much, which is what we kind of talked about with, I think that's what, was it Billy or no, it was George. George said he kind of felt like it would be 50-30 Bob, 50 games, 32 for.
I don't know, but I'd like to see Knight in tomorrow. I'm looking at the schedule. Saturday, we're at Philly. So I'd like Bob to go in that game. And then we come back. Basically, we're playing every other night. So
right. Well, I guess that's when we'll find out if it's a 2-for-1 or an even split when we find out who's playing Thursday night. Either way, man, it was the first week. I've been doing these for 6 years. And last night was the first time I was like, there's nothing I can say even remotely close to even anybody having a bad night. I mean, even Vertrano got moved down. It wasn't like he was bad and making mistakes. He was just kind of invisible. And that's the worst thing you can say about anybody right now is they didn't do something great. I don't know what to do with myself at this point. And I've seen a lot of fans the same way. It's like, what is it? What are we watching? What is this?
It's really funny for me because when I first started watching your videos and all you did was just rant. You go on a freaking rant, you dump your feet, you'd make, funny faces and stuff. And it's like,
and
it's great. It's great to get to start the video saying, 2 points, another 2 points.
Oh God, there was a couple of years there, dude, where it was just like we'd be losing 4 and 5 and 6 games in a row or not getting 2 points. And it just got, it wore on me because it was just like, sometimes you even forget that that you're wanting to win, you know what I mean? And it was really weird because people were enjoying the rants so much that when we would win, we'd come back and win. I'd get messages of people saying, crap, we don't get to see Fluffy lose his shit tonight.
But listen, as much as I I want them obviously to come out of the, so far so good.
Right.
The first 25 games, I told you, first 20 games, let's say.
Yeah.
You break the season 82 games, so you break them in quarters.
Right.
So let's say the first 20 games. What I don't want to see this year is a losing streak.
Right.
More than 3 games.
Yeah.
Because we know that's going to happen.
Yeah. They're going to go.
And I want to see the team really start, putting it in 6th gear at the end of the season. Like going into the playoffs hot.
Right. Well, it's going to be interesting because everybody has that month, that almost the whole month of February is off.
And I hate that there's a break. We didn't remember. I don't know if it was there was, I think, a year before last.
It was
where we were actually leading the division, and then we came back and lost 6 games.
Yeah. I think that was the year we was 96 points and we missed. That might have been that year. I remember what you're talking about, but because last year was the 56 games. The year before that was the pandemic split. I believe it was the 96 points year where we came back from I think it was just the All-Star break at that point, but it was a little bit longer than normal. There was a break, like you're saying. And we came back and we weren't good. We weren't good. So I don't see that happening.
Everything's past history.
Yep.
And you can see there was that Mike Johnson on the NHL Network, and there was tweet about that, highlighting the Panthers and basically saying what a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
So I know we don't have a lot of games scheduled nationally,
right?
But you watch what happens towards mid-season. If we keep it up and we're one of the top 3 teams in the league,
right?
You're gonna see some more Panther games.
You'll see some games.
Not that I care because I love Goldie and Randy calling the game.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm used to them, and obviously I love Randy's commentary, and Goldie does a great job calling the game. So I don't really care. What I care about is that a national audience in the US and Canada
Right.
gets to see how good our team is.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
Well,
I think because of our market and the the lack of exposure, I don't think enough people, hockey fans get to appreciate how good we are,
no, not yet.
especially, a guy like Barkov,
Right. And
and Huberdeau.
and you got to win a round or two for that to happen too,
That's right.
because that's when you get there, the whole hockey world is focused on those 4 and 8 teams. And then that's where, you really get recognized. So, all right, bud, this was good. I really appreciate it. And
No problem.
yeah, we'll see what happens Thursday. And then if it all goes well, we'll be back here Friday doing the same thing. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. And yeah, this was, I don't know we don't know what to do. I've had people ask me, what do we do? Are we really this good? One game at a time.
Yes, we're really this.
Yeah.
We're really this good. Other than we're gonna have off nights. We know it. It's just sports. But so far so good. As long as they take it one game at a time.
Right.
And I really loved that interview, that post-game interview with Bob, where Bob was talking about outside distractions.
Right.
Like he canceled his Instagram account. And
yep.
We talked about that with Billy, that the players, going on social media and reading some of this crap. If they just, stay focused on playing hockey, and staying focused on the game that they're playing,
right,
and the period that they're playing,
right,
the shift that they're playing. If they just, they whittle it down to just that moment.
Yep. Yeah.
What can I say?
I know.
This is our year, bro.
I know. It's I don't want to say it yet. But
it's a long season. It's a long season, but
we got depth for miles, to put it that way. Absolutely. So, all right, bud. I'll see you again later.